What is going on, hobby family? It is your boy K-Dub, and this is K-Dub's High Five, 5 rapid fire questions with your favorite hobby faces. And today it is one of the Twitter hobby favorites, the youngest guest in the history of the High Five series. Runs some of my favorite threads on Twitter, the Mr. Irrelevant, the Dirty Laundry, just some of the most creative threads that you will see. My good friend Billy, aka at Hive Cards on Twitter. How are you doing today, dude?
I'm doing good, brother. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. I really do appreciate your threads, man. I don't jump in and buy stuff, but I just scroll them, man. It's just like memory lane every time. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, though. But how this works, I'm going to throw 5 hobby-related questions at you, one right after another. You ready to take on the high five?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, man. Your Twitter handle, and I think other social media handles, is at Hive Cards. How did you come up with that as your social media handle?
It's a really, really weird story. When I was first starting this, I went to one of my marketing professors and I was talking with them, asking them about naming because I'd never named a business or anything like that. And his advice to me was to pick a buzzword and run with it. And my thought process, so this is a little insight into how my head works, is I associated the word buzz with bees and then bees to hive. And that's how I ended up with Hive Cards as my name.
No way.
Yeah.
I love it, man. That's genius. It's so cool. So cool hearing how just the thought process goes into a name. So Hive Cards because bees buzz. All right. I got it. Locked. All right, man. Second question. You're obviously, very young in this hobby, being 20 years old. I would love to hear just kind of in your own personal hobby journey, who have been kind of some of your influences as far as maybe getting you into cards or moving into more of the business side of cards that you kind of spoke about earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. So my dad is at card_garage on Twitter. So he's the one who originally got me into cards. I've had base cards since I was probably 2, 3 years old, just around me playing with them, going finding 10-cent box at card shows and stuff like that and picking out cards. And I kind of got away from it when I was in middle school and high school, and COVID hit. And I had to pay for college, and my job that I was supposed to take that summer didn't work out because of COVID. It got closed down. So we had probably 70,000 cards sitting in our garage, which is where his name comes from. And yeah, we started selling them. We went through them all. I got sucked back in, and obviously I moved away after that summer, and I kind of went on my own little trip from there. Yeah, I mean, that's how I got started. Other people who have influenced me, I would say the thread aspect of it, I'm gonna give credit to Employee 84, because I love the PWE Fridays that he did.
Absolutely.
And that's what got me like thinking about different threads and all that. So definitely credit to him. And then I have a super close group of people as well, known as the OGs.
Okay.
So I run group chats on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're essentially the original members of those group chats.
Okay.
So they've been around pretty much since the first month I've been on. So they've helped me through a lot as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome. My dad is also a huge reason why I collect cards. He doesn't collect cards anymore, but I think all of us, who kind of grew up in that 90s era. I know you're later than that, but I'm sure your dad grew up in that era, have boxes of cards that are just sitting in garages. So very cool, man. All right, well, let's talk about cards themselves. Is there a Grail card out there for Hive Cards, or is there a card in your collection that is the Grail card that you have?
So I have my Grail card.
Okay.
That's exciting as that is for me.
Yeah.
I collect Villanova autographs, basketball autographs, because that's my favorite team, college team.
Okay.
And I have the quad auto of all 4 of their 2018 NBA draft picks, 1 of 1.
Wow.
So, tough to beat that. That's probably my Grail card. The one I'm looking for the most right now is I'm 1 card away from my Shake Milton Revolution Rainbow. So I'm looking for his Revolution rookie out of 8. That's the only one I have left, and then I'm done.
You got the 1-on-1 though.
There is no 1-on-1.
Oh, there's no 1-on-1. Okay.
No 1-on-1.
All right. So the out of 8 is the
That's-
one that's on the bucket list right now.
Yeah, hollow gold. Can't
Okay.
find it anywhere. It'll
Okay.
pop up though.
Forgive me. A basketball is foreign to me in the hobby. I know it in 90s, but is that another Villanova guy?
He is not. No, he's a Sixers player.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sixers player. Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
right on, man. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, let's move to the product. Talked about the cards. Let's move to the product. Obviously, you being a younger guy, you know, there is some probably newer product influences, but maybe you like the vintage stuff as well. You got all the money in the world. You're ripping one product. What are you ripping and why?
I gotta go with MJ's Fleer. His rookie card Fleer. Just such an iconic card. I'm a basketball guy.
Yeah.
That's I would love the opportunity to open that card myself. So I think if I had all the money in the world, that's what I would pick. But
Yeah.
obviously I don't. I'm a college kid.
But I mean, there's something to be said about pulling your own PC card. I mean, there's just some beauty in that. And then
Yeah.
that box itself, I know it's been mentioned many times on the high fives, but it's, you know, it's filled with all of the NBA greats. I mean, Jordan, yes, you want, but so many other NBA legends that you could pull in that product.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
absolutely, man. I love it. I love it. All right. Last question I got for you. I love your threads. I think the way I first found you is your Mr. Irrelevant thread. But now I know you got multiple threads that you do. How did you come up with the kind of the creativity behind these threads, or what kind of spurred your thinking as far as finding this niche in the hobby that wasn't being reached?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna lie, the first one I made was Sunday dinner, and that's just a basic BST. So I essentially ripped off everyone who would come before me for that one. But the next one I did was reverse. That's my personal favorite. That one works super well for everybody.
Sure.
Ironically, that was pretty much my business model when I started on Twitter. It was just, hey, tell me what you have. I have 70,000 cards. I'll go find something for you and I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll make this a thread now. After I did the Sunday dinner and saw that it worked, and I was like, all right, I'll do this one next. And that one's probably our most successful one still. And then the next three that came right after that were Mr. Irrelevant, Dirty Laundry, and Off-Brand Cereal.
Yeah.
At that point, I collected really cheap Philadelphia autographs. And I was basically just trying to find a place for other people like me to, you know, get cheap PC autographs.
For sure.
And then obviously the other two followed right after that because they fit the same mold. But yeah, pretty much all of those. A lot of them are, I mean, High Rollers is pretty much the outlier. That's the only one I have that's expensive cards. So that one was, so it's kind of, they're pretty much they all come from each other a little bit, but yeah, that's how they all got started, the first five.
I love it, man. And like you said, I think majority of us are, well, you know, this are sitting on a lot of cards that just sit in boxes. And I think it gives collectors an opportunity to snag or sell, you know, kind of these low end autos or relics that we have in our boxes. So shout out to you, man. It's one of my favorite things to scroll through and just kind of feel the nostalgia, because there's so much in there that you forget guys, or you forget this guy played in the league, or this guy went to college, and it's just good stuff, man. So I really appreciate your creativity in that, man. I do.
Thank you. I appreciate the praise.
For sure, man. And then I got one more bonus question. I know you're a baller, man. I've seen some of your videos you posted. I know on the hobby rap video, you threw down a little dunk. Can you walk me through a little bit of just your hoops resume? I mean, in 30 seconds to a minute, just kind of like high school to now college, kind of position, stats, awards. I mean, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna lie, my high school resume is not super impressive. I went to a big school. I didn't play a ton. I kind of got to college based on the fact that I'm tall. They took a risk on me, and it's worked out so far. I'm on pace for 1,000 points. I'm on pace for 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 100 blocks. And there's not much more you can ask for out of a center. But I started at center this year for about half the year, and then I switched to power forward, so I get to go back to the perimeter, which is where I played in high school. Like you said, you saw the dunk. That was probably my first game on the perimeter, so that was a nice little coming out party. But
yeah. Well, I love it, man. Anytime you throw a dunk down, make sure you at me on that, man, because I love seeing a good dunk or two in my day. I mean, all I get is mini hoop dunks now, so I like seeing the 10-foot dunks.
I see them. They're very impressive, though.
Smoke and
Elite
mirrors.
passing from your sons.
Smoke and mirrors. So, all right, man. Hey, that's all I got. We got a high five at the end of the high five. Boom, throw it up. Check out my dude Billy at Hive Cards on Twitter. Make sure you check out his threads. They are a lot of fun. Like I said, even if you're just cruising around, check them out. You can also follow me if you're bored at Mr. K-Dub. Make sure you be the good in the world. Billy, I appreciate you joining me. Good luck in the rest of the hobby adventures that you're going to find yourself in the next 20 years, man. And we'll see you guys next time on the next high five.
This is a demo sound of freeintromusic.com.